Afternoon guys, LMC here, and this is my very first video. So welcome to the channel. I'm going to start making videos about life on two wheels and learning to ride a motorbike here in Melbourne, Australia. I'm still quite an inexperienced rider. I mean, I'm still on my learners. I haven't got my license yet, and you can probably catch in the mirrors I'm wearing my high-vis vest, which is the law here in the part of the world I'm from. If you're learning to ride a bike, you've got to wear one. But oh well, I mean, they say it makes you 40% more likely to be seen on the road, but probably also makes you 40% more likely to not have any friends. But you got to do what you got to do. So to get started on this channel, I thought I'd start off by just telling you guys why I wanted to ride a motorbike, and also why I wanted to start motovlogging. But first of all, before we get into any of that, I'm just gonna ride up here, see if I can't find a place to pull over and just give you a quick walk around on my bike. I'm not going to spend heaps of time looking at my bike in this video. I'm going to save that for another video. I'm just going to give you a quick walk around. Ah, perfect. This will do, just down here. Few cars around, but this will do just nicely. Perfect. So here it is. This is the 2014 Honda CB500F. I've had this bike for about a month, which is as long as I've been riding, and it's just about due for its first service actually, which I got booked in a couple of weeks. I bought this bike as an ex-demo, so I had about 100 kilometers on the clock when I got it from the dealership, and it was a really good deal getting it as an ex-demo. Saved a bit of money, and they also had a few extra pieces on it for me already, and it still cost me less than retail. So it was a really good deal, I thought. The couple of things they had on it for me were, the first one was this is this sort of rear seat cowl. The stock configuration of this bike comes with a rear seat, and you can take these bits of plastic off here and here to sort of bolt on a pair of fork-like handles for your pillion passenger, and then obviously this becomes a seat. But the dealer had that for me. I've got the seat at home. I really like it. Sort of tidies up the rear end of it quite nicely, gives it a bit of a sleeker look. I don't know whether or not I would paid for it myself if I bought it brand new, but you know, it's nice to have. can't argue with it. The other thing they put on for me, which was just a small sort of tank protector here. And then the final thing they already had on the bike for me was this is a Two Brothers slip-on exhaust. This I would have definitely got even if it wasn't on the bike already. It just makes it sound 100 times better. I mean, there's no escaping it. It's still a small bike, and so it still sounds like a small bike, but it makes it sound a lot nicer, and it puts a big smile on my face, and that's what it's all about, really, isn't it? And the other thing is that the stock exhaust on this makes it sound like a scooter. To be honest, it sounds like a bit of a scooter. So that was already on it, which is good. Then the final thing I've got on it that's not stock are these little oggy knobs. I put these on myself, and I just thought that given it's my first bike and I'm not a very experienced rider, that, you know, the likelihood of me having a slow speed or even a stationary kind of accident, like dropping it, was pretty high. So I thought it was worth paying for that and getting them on there. You can never be too careful. But apart from that, the bike is stock, nothing else I've done to it. There's a couple other things I might do to it soon, but I haven't quite decided yet. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to give you a quick walk around of the bike. I'm going to save a more in-depth look at it later once I get to know the bike a bit more and I've ridden it for a longer period of time. But I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an intro to the bike. But let's keep going. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to talk about today was why I wanted to start riding a motorbike. And the reason for that is actually really simple. I wanted to start riding a motorbike for fun. That's basically the bottom line. And personally, I reckon if you're looking at a motorbike for anything other than fun, like if fun isn't your kind of primary motivator, then you're looking at a bike for the wrong reasons. Because the thing that's come up since I got this is a few of my friends have come to me and said, I've thought about getting a bike before and I never got one, or I'm thinking of getting a bike now, and what do you think, blah 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 blah. And the common theme that keeps coming up with at least my friends is that people have been looking at a bike in terms of it being a cheap or economical and convenient form of transport for commuting. And I sort of agree with that. I mean, economical, sure. This bike is far more economical than my car. I mean, this bike gets like 4 or 5 litres per 100 Ks or something like that, which is much better than my car. But you know, that will vary, of course, depending on the bike that you're looking at and the car that you're comparing it to. But so yeah, they can be much more economical. I sort of buy that argument. But what I don't quite agree with is the more convenient thing. I think people, when they're looking at bikes, they kind of focus on all the positive things, you know, the being able to park it anywhere. I mean, here in Victoria at least, you can park it almost anywhere, which is great. And they, you know, think about the ability to kind of filter through traffic, which is, you know, questionably legal here in Victoria. It's not all that clear what's legal and what's not when it comes to lane splitting or lane filtering. But they kind of forget about all the other things. You know, they forget about the fact that you've got to put on all the gear every time that you go out. They forget that it's much more work to ride a bike. You know, everything about a bike is much, what's the word I'm looking for? It's much more visceral, you know, like you feel everything, you feel the road, you feel the wind, you feel all those elements, and that makes the bike all the more tiring and more sort of fatiguing to ride. And you're also not protected, of course, you know, unlike in a car where you're encased in a big kind of metal coffin, big metal shell, which protects you from all sorts of unfortunate happenings on the road. You don't get any of that on a bike. And I think a lot of people kind of forget that. They forget that that's what riding a bike's all about. So as far as convenience is concerned, no, I don't agree that the bike has a sort of good, strong case for convenience over a car. You know, nothing beats the ability to just jump into the car, throw all your stuff in the back and go, and not really worry about anything else. I mean, I know you can get storage stuff on motorcycles. You know, you can get stuff that clip onto the back, and you can obviously ride with a backpack if you like, and that gives you some storage options. But still, it's nowhere near as convenient as a car. And so for that reason, I'll probably keep my car. I don't really see this as being my primary mode of transport. Oh, what you doing there, kid? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. So all in all, I think a car is more convenient. So if you're looking at a bike as, I really think I want to get a bike so it'll be really convenient to commute to and from work in traffic, I would think twice about that. I really reckon the main reason to get a bike is because it's fun. And it is. It's so much fun. I mean, riding around in traffic isn't super enjoyable, but when you get out onto some nicer roads where there's no traffic, and it's just you and the bike, and the weather's nice, and the roads are twisting, oh god, it's so much fun. Now, I haven't done a great deal of that myself yet, but I've done a little bit, and the stuff that I've done, I was just grinning ear to ear the whole time. You couldn't wipe the smile off my face. And that's what this is all about. And so that's why I did it. The second thing I wanted to kind of touch on was why I wanted to start motovlogging as part of riding my bike. And the reason for that is that I'm a student. I'm a postgraduate student. I'm doing my PhD here in Melbourne, and that has me working very hard, but very hard mentally. You know, I don't do anything physical. I spend a lot of hours sitting on my bum in front of a computer, whether that be at home or in the office. I'm sitting on a computer working my brain to pieces, but I don't do anything physically, and I don't get outside much. So the motovlogging thing was a part of an idea I had to kind of split my life up so that I didn't just have the studies. You know, I wanted a sort of avenue of my life that was kind of creative and fun and kept me motivated, but wasn't academic, and got me outside and got me away from the desk, basically. Oops, still have my indicator on. But yeah, that's why I wanted to start motovlogging. So I don't really have many expectations for what this channel will become. I don't really mind how this channel goes. If it's successful, awesome. If it's not, oh well, that's okay. I'm just gonna have fun with it and see what comes of it, really. As far as plans go, at least in the short term, I'm thinking of doing a series of videos about kind of my experiences learning to ride. You know, the things I found difficult, the things I found easy, the things I had trouble with, and all that kind of stuff. And the mistakes I make, and the little tips and tricks that people gave me that I thought would be useful for new riders. So that's what I'll probably do. I'll probably do a series of videos learning to ride and share it with you guys. So hopefully that's something that people out there are interested in. And then the other thing I'll probably try and do is get my hands on some other bikes and do some comparisons between other learner approved bikes and this one. I've got a few sort of options for that, so I'll probably just do a few rides of those and give again a kind of a learner's perspective. You know, which bike I find, you know, which bike, what the pros and cons are of each bike, and from a learner's perspective and stuff like that. But yeah, that's it for me today. Let's keep it short. Hope you enjoyed the first video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of what I've got coming. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.